Sometimes the most powerful ideas don't come from grand speeches or epic battles. Sometimes they're found in the simplest of moments. Today, we're looking at a story just like that, one that unfolds in just a few extra steps on a dusty road. So let's start with a question for you. Think about it. What's the real measure of someone's character? Is it their job title, the power they hold, or is it something quieter, something you see when no one's watching? Just keep that in the back of your mind as we dive into this. All right, so let's set the scene. Our story starts on a road just outside the city of Kufa. Now you gotta understand, Kufa back then wasn't just some town. It was a big deal. It was the capital of the Islamic government, basically the heart of political power. And it's on this road that two guys happen to meet. One's a Muslim, the other's a non-Muslim, just traveling through. Their paths line up for a little while, so they figure, hey, why not walk together? Pretty simple, right? At this point, they're just two strangers sharing a road. So as they walk, they start talking. A natural, easy companionship begins to form. But then they come to a fork in the road. This is it, the point where they've got to go their separate ways. And here's where things get a little strange. The non-Muslim traveler takes his turn, heads down his path, but then he looks back. And his companion? He's still walking with him. He's following him down a road that is definitely not the road to Kufa. Super confusing, right? So naturally, he asks the question that we're all thinking. Hey, wait a minute. Didn't you say you were going to Kufa? I mean, you can imagine his confusion. Why on earth would this guy walk away from his own destination just to follow a stranger? And the answer he gets, well, it has nothing to do with being lost or changing his mind. Nope. The answer he gets reveals this really profound, really beautiful idea about how we connect with each other. The Muslim man explains this thing called the right of companionship. The idea is basically this. When you share a path with someone, even for a little bit, it creates a kind of bond, a connection. And with that connection comes a small responsibility, a sort of right to show kindness to each other. He backs this up with a teaching from the Prophet Muhammad. He says something like, look, I just want to walk a few more steps with you to see you off properly. Our Prophet taught us that whenever two people travel together, they have a right upon each other. It was that simple. He was just taking a few extra steps to honor that right. Well, the traveler is just blown away. He has this moment of realization. He thinks to himself, this faith, its incredible growth, couldn't be because of swords or power. It has to be because of the character of its people, shown in tiny personal moments of respect, just like this one. But wait, the story's not over. There's one more piece to this puzzle, a final detail that changes everything and gives this whole encounter so much more weight. Because later, after they've said their goodbyes and gone their separate ways, the traveler finds out who his humble companion actually was. The man who walked those extra steps for him was none other than Ali ibn Abi Talib, the caliph himself, the leader of the entire Islamic nation. I mean, let that sink in. The most powerful man in the land had personally, and without anyone knowing who he was, walked out of his way for a total stranger of a different faith. And the impact of that small gesture, it went way beyond just a few extra steps on a road. It set off a ripple that would literally change this man's life forever. Imagine finding that out. The moment the traveler realized who had shown him that respect, his admiration just skyrocketed. I mean, the act itself was amazing, but knowing it came from the caliph, that made a moment he would never, ever forget. And you can see the chain of events so clearly. It all starts with one simple act of respect. That act, which came from a place of real character, sparked genuine admiration. And that admiration, it grew into devotion. The sources tell us that not long after, the traveler embraced Islam and became one of Ali's most loyal companions. It's just such a perfect illustration of this idea that real influence, true leadership, isn't about the title on your door. It's about the character in your heart. The power of your position, sure, it can demand respect, but that's fleeting. The power of your character, that's what earns hearts. And that kind of impact, that's timeless. And so that leaves us with one last thing to think about. Look, most of us aren't leading nations, but we all share paths with people every single day, at work, in our communities, even online. So the real question for us is, what are the small extra steps we can walk for other people? How can we honor that simple human right of companionship in our own lives?